Today's topic of discussion is interest tests. Now, anytime you're speaking to a girl for marriage purposes, or anytime you're speaking to a girl in general, if she has some level of attraction towards you and you're just speaking to her, she's going to be giving you the interest tests. Now, interest tests come in several forms. Now, you need to pass predominantly majority of them or all the interest tests in order for her to become emotionally attached to you and for her to fall in love with you. The more interest tests you pass, her love and desire goes up. The more interest tests you fail, her love and desire goes down and it decreases. So the more you fail them, the more it goes down. So we're going to be discussing the really important points in order to pass these interest tests and get a woman to really fall in love with you. Now, first point is the pullback. Now, anytime you're speaking to a girl, whether it's on social media or in person, it's going to get to a point where, let's say you're speaking to her for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line. There's a level of attraction that she has towards you, and you can see that you both have a basic level chemistry between yourselves. If you do not initiate the pullback first, she's going to do it. So if you're, for example, speaking to a girl on social media, for example, you're texting her and you're texting her for about a week, 2 weeks. If you do not pull back, where you just stop communicating for a day, 2 days, however many days, she's going to do that. So the reason why she does the pullback is to effectively test the amount of options you have, the level of SMV you have, so your sexual market value, and effectively your level of interest in her and your level of attachment within her. When she pulls back, if you're somebody who becomes needy, becomes somebody who starts to pursue her, starts to chase her, that's going to make a woman pull back even more. It sounds crazy, but the more attention and the more validation you give to a woman, the more she pulls back and the more she withdraws. The less validation and less attention you give to a woman, the more she gravitates towards you. So women love a man who's difficult to attain and he's somebody who is of value. Something which is valuable is very difficult to attain. So if, for example, gold, silver, diamonds were found on the street, it wouldn't have much value, would it? But because gold, silver, diamonds are very difficult to attain, it has a high amount of value. Hence why when a man is somebody who is difficult to attain, that woman falls in love with him even more. So that's the first point. Second point is the double text. Now, this is a common occurrence for a lot of guys. A lot of guys don't actually realize this. But what they'll do is when a woman sees a message, right? Girls are pretty much on their phones all the time. Let's not get it twisted. There's no such thing as people are busy with their lives and this and that. Majority of the time, people are spending 8+ hours, 10+ hours on their phone, on their screen time. So I don't want to hear about how somebody says to you, a girl says to you, oh, she's busy or she's been doing this and that. So you were so busy to not reply within a one minute text message. It's even less than that. It's like a 10-second text message back. So what I do is I'll message a girl predominantly in the evening times. So in the evening times, once I've done all my work during the day, I've worked on my purpose, I've predominantly done everything I needed to do, then I'll speak to girls, let's say on social media. So send a message. If she doesn't respond to it, I won't send her another message. The only exception to the double text here is if she's sent you a message, right? No, sorry, you've sent a message to her and she's read it and then she deliberately airs it. So she's read it and she's just aired it. That is just complete disrespect. So that message there, the second message is to basically tell her, look, I'm someone who has principles and boundaries in place, and for you to not respond to me now, I'm gonna have to stop speaking to you. If she was to air that message as well, then what I would do is I would unsend both my messages. Do you understand? And then the last message is from her. So this is a psychological power move, you would call it. So what it is, right? So when a woman goes through her conversations, she'll see all these other beta males in the DMs, and all of them are unread messages or messages that the guys have sent. But this one guy over here, yeah, is somebody who she sent the last message to. Now he hasn't communicated with her. As soon as you unsend the messages, you stop hitting her up for several days and several weeks. It can go on for a month, 2 months certain times. You know, girls don't forget about you. Trust me. If you're somebody who's a man of value, women don't forget about you. They don't forget about you that quickly. They become more emotionally attached. So she sees that how you're somebody who's unsent those messages there. So then she really starts to think about you. And then when she starts to think about you, her interest level goes up and her desire goes up. And the more she thinks about you, the more emotionally invested she starts to become. So that's what it is with a double text. You want to make sure that when you send a message, you want her to respond to it. You don't be the type of guy when you start sending 3, 4, 5 messages and you just keep sending a message every single day and she's not responding. That's just completely, you're just being emasculated at that point. She's just completely disrespecting you then when she's not even responding to you at all. So that's really important. Next point is compliments. Now, a woman's gonna test you. So let's say she's wearing makeup or she's wearing a certain outfit or whatever the case is. If you're someone to just straight away start dishing out compliments, oh yeah, you look so beautiful, or you look amazing today, this and that, her interest is going to decrease because you're somebody who's effectively given her all of this validation and she hasn't even done anything to deserve it. You know, she puts on a bit of makeup or she's put on an outfit. Why are you giving compliments? You're not in a relationship with her. You're not somebody who's married to the person. If you're married to the person, then like, you can dish out compliments here and there. That's fine. But it's a situation, right? You're not even in a relationship with her and you're telling her, oh, you look great today, you look amazing today. Like all these beta males, they could go to a woman on the street and they just straight away start pumping validation. Oh yeah, you look really beautiful. Woman looks at that and her subconsciously, she's getting icked out by that. But then she's still gonna like speak to him, and then whatever the case is, her desire is gonna temporarily increase, but it's not gonna increase in the long run because this guy here is effectively complimented her on what she looks like rather than her actual internal qualities. Internal qualities is the most important thing, regardless of whether it's a man or a woman. It's about what a man brings and what a woman brings to the table that is real value. External and what you look like, that's not something which another person benefits from. If somebody gives you a helping hand, you know, helps you out with a certain activity in the day, that's internal value. That's something which is somebody has come out of his day to help you with a situation. But if you're, for example, wearing makeup, that has no benefit for somebody else. Somebody else doesn't benefit from that. You know, if a woman's wearing a nice outfit, that doesn't benefit anybody else. Does that make sense where I'm coming from, guys? So when it comes to the compliments, you wanna just leave that out. Don't be giving out compliments. Anytime you speak to a woman for marriage purposes or you're speaking to her in general, don't be dishing out compliments for no reason. Next point is disagree. So a woman is going to say something. So let's say you say a statement, yeah? A woman may just disagree with you randomly. She'll say, oh yeah, I don't agree with that, this and that. Or if you're wearing a certain outfit, she'll be like, oh, that outfit doesn't look that good. If you're somebody who turns around and says, oh, you know what, you're right, my outfit doesn't look good, you know, this and that, you've just become emasculated. You're somebody who has no principles, no backbone, no anything. You should be doubling down on the situation. So if you've got an outfit on and then you've got a certain polo shirt on, so I've got a polo shirt on right now, she turns around and says to me, oh, it doesn't look good. I'll just turn around and say to her, look, it looks great, I feel great in it. You understand? Like, I don't care what you think. So she's gonna be like, oh, okay, you get what I mean? So she's gonna test you by being disagreeable certain times. So that's an interest test. So you've passed that interest test. So if you double down on what you're, for example, wearing, if you double down on that and you say that, yeah, I think it looks great, you've passed that interest test. You'll fail it if you turn around and agree with her. Does that make sense? If she's just being moody and stuff like that and you start to agree with her, you're going into a vicious cycle then. Because then a woman's emotions is going to constantly fluctuate and then you're just chasing after trying to please her emotions. Next point is amount of options. Now, this is going to be really important now when it comes to speaking to a woman. So anytime you're speaking to a woman, whether you're speaking to other girls or not, you want to let her know that you're keeping your options open, and you're someone who's speaking to other girls for marriage purposes, multiple women. Don't be a type of guy when you just turn around and say to a girl, oh yeah, you're the only girl I'm speaking to. Woman's going to subconsciously get icked out by that. She's going to be like, this guy here hasn't got no other options. He hasn't got no other women who want him. Hence why her desire and her interest is going to decrease and it's going to go down. So you want to always mention that you're speaking to other women. And the truth is, you should be speaking to other girls anyway. So you shouldn't be getting emotionally attached to a girl. You're not even married to her or anything like that. Next point is emotional strength. Now, this is going to be testing your emotional strength. Now, if a woman pulls back from you, which is going to be a common occurrence for all women are going to be pulling back, whether it's before a relationship, during a relationship, or after a relationship, she's going to pull back. So that's to test your emotional strength. Now, you're going to become emotionally unstable when she pulls back. If you're somebody who's weak emotionally, you're going to become more clingy. You're going to start to chase her even more. You're going to start to pursue her even more. But a man who is on his purpose, he's on his mission, he's somebody who is emotionally strong. Yeah. When a woman pulls back from him, he becomes emotionally detached. Does that make sense where I'm coming from, guys? So if a woman airs him for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so for the first week or 2 weeks, that's going to be hard for the guy, because if he's got some level of investment, so where he spent time, energy, effort into speaking to her, he's going to be that attachment's going to be slightly there. But then when time goes on, his attachment's going to decrease and it's going to go down, it's going to get weaker. However, with women, it's the opposite. So the more time you spend away from a woman for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, when it gets to that 30-day mark, a lot of the times when you do no contact, right? So when she does a pullback and you do no contact, you do not communicate to her, yeah? It gets to about 30 plus days, her emotions start to go really, really crazy, where she starts to really feel like she's missed out on a guy of value, because this guy here clearly is somebody who is of value. He's got an abundance of options. He doesn't care if she's in his life or not. And then chances are she's going to reach out. So around 30 to 60 days, a lot of the times, when it gets to the level of attachment there, she'll reach out back. Trust me, it won't be a situation where she's forgotten about you. She has not forgotten about you. If you're somebody who's of value in life and you're somebody who's working on his purpose, you're on your mission each and every single day, it's very difficult to try and replace you. You don't see many guys who are of value and guys who are like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually strong and excelling in multiple arenas in life. Majority of guys are just losers. That's what it is in today's society. They're addicted to X-rated content, filthy content. They just play games all day. They just, smoke weed or whatever the case is and just party. But guys who are actual of value, there's not many of them in today's society. So that's really important. So the interest tests are, so quick summary, the pullback, you got the pullback where she'll pull back to test your internal strength. The double text where when you're communicating with a girl, you want to wait for her to respond. So she may not respond in a day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, certain times, or whatever the case is. You don't want to be double texting. The only exception is the double text is when you let her know that you're not somebody who appreciates how she's been disrespectful. So you need to check that. So you either have two options, that you either check the behavior. So the first one is check the behavior, or the second one is you completely not care and you would walk away completely. So the second option is even more powerful. So where you just completely just show you're not even fazed by whether she responds or not. Compliments, you don't want to be dishing out no compliments. So if a woman's wearing makeup or she's got a certain outfit, I don't know, whatever the case is, don't be dishing out compliments about the way she looks. That's completely a biggest ick. When a woman sees that this guy here is somebody who just like loves me for what I look like, I'm not even providing any value to this guy, and you just like dishing out compliments. Don't be dishing out compliments to these girls. Yeah, these girls here just getting enough attention from these beta males. Don't be that type of guy who just starts dishing out all these compliments for no reason. Yeah, a woman needs to come to a lot more to the table than just what she looks like. That's nothing. This is what it is. Like, what's her cooking abilities? Can she raise her family? Is she somebody who's feminine, caring, loving, submissive? Is she somebody who's got a clean past? Is she somebody who's been keeping away from boyfriends and stuff like that? Who's been keeping away from promiscuous activity? These are all things which you guys should be looking at. That's a lot more of value than what she slaps some makeup on. Come on, guys need to fix up. So next point is disagree. So she's gonna disagree with you. Now you double down on your statement. So if you've got an outfit on or whatever the case is, or if you're doing something, you double down on that situation. Don't be compromising and don't be saying, oh yeah, you know, I agree with you, this and that. Don't be that type of guy. Next point is with the options as well. So you want to be speaking to multiple women. So have your options open for anytime you're speaking to a girl for marriage purposes. Don't be clinging onto one girl and thinking, oh yeah, this is the love of my life, this and that. No. Next point is the emotional strength. So when she pulls back from you, you need to have the emotional strength within you to not reach out to her and to not try and get a relationship with her. If a woman doesn't show the same level of respect, you need to withdraw all your value. Does that make sense where I'm coming from, guys? So I hope that makes sense. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.